It's not looking very bright today, and I run every day, so I don't know how I'm going to do this. Usually if the weather's like this, I have to motivate myself to get going. The lighting in here is very yellow. So I apologize for the quality of this live. So you run every day. This is what I'm looking like. It's almost December, and I said I would give an overview of how the month went at the end of November. But I thought today I would share like how I kind of go through my day. So right now, I'm up. I am going to get dressed. I just went to the washroom to kind of wash my face, brush my teeth, and I'm going to see what I need to put on. Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to see what I need to put on to do this run. Now, my focus now needs to be, I think my dilemma has been that I'm doing this thing at the app that tracks my steps, it counts my calories, and I'm loving it, but my focus seems to always be to get steps in, and I'm neglecting my aerobics and like my Pilates, and I really have been led to kind of before more focused on my mat work, Pilates, ab work, etc., etc. So I don't know, I might delete the app because the purpose of it is kind of lost now. I was sharing my progress with my daughter, and I'm no longer doing that for reasons I think it's healthy for me. So I'm about to get ready for this run. If I can hold this phone while I'm running, I might do that. I'm able to do the 3K nonstop, which is says a lot about the progress I've made. My mental definition is not as it used to be years ago, but of course I'm older now, so I think the idea is less time and higher weights. I'm gonna try that. I So this will be a short live. I'll be doing a couple others throughout this day, and I wanted to share. I'm going to share at what point I thought all this stuff that happened to me started. And it was so long ago that I'm kind of like, I have to thank God that I'm sitting here and able to confidently speak to you because most people, if when I share this story with you, you're going to be like, how in the world did you make it through this? There's someone in my life right now that keeps on telling me that I have to love my mother. I love my mother. Doesn't mean my mother loves me. And okay, so there's a suggestion here. Okay, so give me a second. I on the note I was on, doesn't mean my mother loves me. And that being said, I have to do what's healthy for me. And now that I'm in a healthy frame of mind, loving myself in a healthy way, I have to exempt people that I know that could be dangerous for me. And that includes blood, family. That could be my kids. It could be definitely all past people. Have to go. So that's where I'm at right now. And I realize that there is good and bad in relations to the spiritual realm and things that people can do. But black magic is a no. I don't want to say that what I can do is magical. I would say more miraculous because then that shows what side I'm on. Anyway, I've been led to eat healthy, and it's been known to, told to me or shared with me that it's mandatory. It's important that I cut out all things I can't pronounce or I can pronounce and don't understand what it is. Things with added artificial colors, artificial flavors. I'm going to really try and stay away from meat because meat doesn't sit very well in my tummy, especially meat that's already been processed. Let me give you a quick story. And I'm seeing your note about the app. I'll tend to that in a second. There's a lot of our narcissistic moms out there. So I went to a store that there's a few store. I don't know how this is across the globe or in the western parts of the globe, But where I live, there's a lot of stores that are owned and run by people from China. And they have like people that I like from my culture and West Indian cultures and other cultures, Philippines, other cultures, shop there a lot. So it's pretty busy. Supposedly, what I've heard on a side note is that they have some kind of favor in relations to getting products here at a price that they can sell it to us and knock out the competition. So anyway, we I shop there a lot, and then they this particular one store like that has a counter that sells Chinese food, and it's something they call dim sum. It's like Chinese breakfast kind of food, and I love it, especially the steamed stuff. The fried stuff I could do without because at my age, eating the fried stuff just goes to places I don't want it to go. Plus, I've been verboten from eating that stuff, so I focus on the steamed things. Anyway, I went there and I got something called beef balls. Right, I used to love it. But one day I went there, the last time I got them and I opened the container. First of all, it smelled like it was like made with vinegar. It was so sour, the smell of it. And when I bit into it, it fell apart in my mouth. So I went back to the counter and I told the lady, "This is disgusting. This is like from almost, it almost tasted like it was from yesterday, like it had been in someone's compost." And she said, "There's something wrong with it." And I said, "I'm not telling you, I'm not asking you whether or not there's something wrong with you. I'm telling you that this is not edible." So she, after about half an hour of back and forth, she refunded me the money. Since that time, I have kind of been coming across videos of people who, okay, first, before that, I came across a video that talking about introducing the idea that they are making meat based on a little cell, one cell, making meat in a lab and selling it as coming from an animal. I mean, the DNA comes from an animal, but it's not cut like a butcher would cut it from an animal. And I'm not too sure exactly. This cannot be beneficial for us, beneficial for the economy. How could it be more economical to get the cells of a living creature, whether it be an animal or God knows where the cells are coming from, and make a steak in a lab? That can't be cheaper. Scientists get paid a lot of money. So what is the benefit of making meat in a lab? Especially if it doesn't taste good, it can't have the same nutritional value. And then I think back to the videos. I don't know if, for those of you who have been following me for a while, I made a video about lab made meat when they started to introduce, the meat that's, what's it called? Beyond meat, beyond beef, beyond meat, or believe it or not meat, something like that. The meat that's supposedly made out of plants, but it doesn't say plants. It says they use terms that are strategic. So you're assuming that it's made out of a plant, but it bleeds like meat, it looks like meat, and it tastes like meat, but it's not meat, they say. They say it's plant-based. No. Is it plant-based? Is that what they call it? Anyway, 3D printing. Yes, 3D printing meat is what's going on. And guys, when I started my walk, I was so obedient. I mean, I didn't have the funds to really do much more than that. It was more economical for me to go to the store and buy a bag of like 20 apples for $2 because I was eating just vegetables and fruit. So they put fruits and vegetables that were going to go, about to go bad in a bag. They price it at a very cheap price, and I'd have be able to afford $2 because the channel was making a little bit of money, and so I'd buy the apples, and that would be my food for the day or for the next 2 or 3 days. Mind you, at that time I was very thin. Eating vegetables and fruit, you can't, for whatever reason, you don't hold a lot of weight. I could eat a whole bag of apples, and I guess it makes sense, right? Anyway, when I was doing those videos, I remember talking about, what's it called? Solvent green, and how they are using the cell, like when they abort fetuses, what happens to the 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 flesh. They don't just flush it down the toilet. There's actually a market. There's actually a reason why they targeted a certain population, um, maybe promote free intimacy or promiscuity. People get into situations, they go to abort the fetus, and then they use the cells for whatever they want to use it for. I'm alluding to the idea that we might be eating not just necessarily a cell from an animal, if you get my drift. So I was led a long time ago to stay away from meat. So I was eating vegetables and fruit, particularly like to keep the weight on fatty fruits like avocado and nuts and seeds. My daughter's joke is like, all mom eats is nuts and seeds. Well, at one point it really was that way, but at that time I was so healthy. My bowel movements were regular. My skin was beautiful at the time. I had energy for days, and when I came in contact with this particular business I was helping, the gentleman that I was helping was always like, "Oh, why are you doing this?" Like everything that I was for, he would be against. As a matter of fact, milk, whether I'm vegan or not, milk upsets my stomach to no end, and it comes out a couple days after I drink milk. You can see I break out. So I know all this stuff in this milk that we really, my body's very sensitive to food altogether. So during the course of the time I was helping with this business, a lot of the things that the Lord led me to do, I stopped doing. But I got the message recently that I need to get back on track, because for my walk to continue, I need to be putting things in my body that fuels the body. And I've always said this. I've always said that if you, let's just say you're driving a Mercedes Benz and you love cranberry juice, just because you love cranberry juice doesn't mean it's good for your car. You're not going to say I love cranberry juice and put cranberry juice in your car, because the car wasn't designed to run on cranberry juice. We are created. We didn't just explode here. We were created, and our creator made things on this earth that we should be eating, that fuels us the way he intended it. We could put anything we want in our bodies, but eventually we will reap what we sow. It's like pouring, a very lame example, pouring, they say not to pour your oil or fatty things down your drain, because eventually it starts to cling to the sides of the drain, and you eventually have to clean it out, right? That's the same kind of thinking relates to the things that we eat have been processed, that sticky and stick to our colons. Our colons where we absorb all our nutrients. And if our colons aren't being cleansed with veggies and maybe occasional fasting, our colon will be clogged with old food. And it'll be difficult for us to absorb the nutrients from the food that we do eat. Now, on another note, I think all the higher ups have thought about this, and they've done some manipulation to the food. So even the food that we think is healthy, the vegetables, the fruit, salad, like the lettuce, the tomatoes, all that kind of thing, have been tampered with, supposedly. Mind you, what I'm saying to you is my investigative work. So you don't have to take what I say for gospel. This is my opinion, okay? You just take what I say and you do your own research, because it's important for us to be empowered to know how our bodies work and what's happening to us. The foods that we're eating, supposedly, the last time we had there was a mandate for people to take the inoculation. People didn't take it. Not everyone took it. I know that I didn't take it. And so strategically, supposedly, there was a video, and I don't know where to find that. I always say I'm going to put a video in the caption and the description, but it's hard to find sometimes. There was a video posted that they are admitting to have been putting this stuff that they want us to take by the needle, putting it in our veggies. So, I don't know where to go with that, but I'm just letting you know that the only thing that really can exempt us from it, and then we have the chemtrails in the sky, where you see these like X's in the sky made by planes, where people think it's just cute, and it's just the exhaust, and it's really not just the exhaust. The exhaust from a plane shouldn't linger in the sky and make clouds. So, the idea is that the the Lord said when we fast and pray, if you look into fasting, it's the only thing that detoxes us and destroys damaged cells and purges us of things that have been put in our body that shouldn't be there. When I did my 40-day fast, um, I was led to do a 40-day fast, and I can't tell you how many messages I got about 40-day fast. So I thought to myself, you know what? It must be the Lord telling me to do a 40-day fast. So I got on it. For those of you who don't know me from that time, when I did that fast, I was so nauseous at some points. Some days I was so sleepy, and at night I was wide awake. It took me on a serious roller coaster ride. I saw parasites. At the end of the 40, it's almost like the body knew it was the 40 days. I knew I had still a little bit of fat stores, but like the body was like, no, you're hungry. So all of a sudden I became hungry. During the 40 days, after the fourth day, you no longer feel hungry. Your body transitions into detox and repair. So I could go into a situation, make a dinner, and not feel hungry, not feel like eating. And as I mentioned, I went through a process of like detox. So I felt nauseous. I passed parasites. I felt sleepy, like I said, in the daytime. Sometimes I slept all day, and sometimes at night, I couldn't, I couldn't like lock my eyes closed. I couldn't staple them closed. I couldn't sleep. So the fasting is a big part of God's plan for us. We're supposed to fast, and because our bodies are designed to repair and detox in that process, and that's why when we sleep at night, we are to break our fast in the morning. It's breakfast, but we don't necessarily have to have breakfast as soon as we get up. We could extend that breakfast and have our first meal in the evening. You could have a first meal 2 days later. It's just a fasting is a part of our life. It should be an active part of what we do. Our bodies are designed to. When I did that 40-day, that's a little aside. When I did that 40-day fast, I remember posting it on the on this platform, and I remember a doctor coming in and lacing into me, telling me how I'm trying to kill people, and I said that he, he or she was the murderer. And the last I heard of that person. So anyway, the skies are looking pretty. Um, the skies, it looks windy. This looks like the sun is trying to peep out, but I'm gonna go out there and do my run, and I'm going to check in after, let you know how I'm feeling. I'm not too sure exactly how I'm going to do what I'm doing, because right now, the bank, that situation with the bank I mentioned a couple days ago, where someone had approached me and asked me for help and swapped my card out for another card, and had deposited a check and withdrawn it. It froze my account for like 10 days. So I really, even if I wanted to buy a pack of gum, I couldn't do it right now. So maybe that means I'm supposed to fast right now. I'm not too sure. But I do believe what happened with my account, that whole setup thing was planned. Someone knew that I would have a heart to help a young lady. And because my account, you can't deposit a check and just withdraw it. They won't allow me to do that. So how is a stranger able to go to my account and deposit a check and pull the money out? That makes no sense. When I called the bank and asked them about how this, was able to happen, they said, "Don't worry, we're doing an investigation." They're just totally jumping over hoops and not ignoring everything I'm saying, which means I know that what's happening with me is by a group that is much higher than what we see. There are people in positions of authority that are not doing their job or are abusing their position. This has been going on for a while now. Yesterday, when I went on my run, I must have saw about 20 police SUVs driving by. So I know something is brewing. Anyway, I'll keep you posted. And I thank you for your support. In relations to the app, let's see. Beans are also good. Black beans are good. Sub for meat. You can also actually make. Yeah, I know. I used to do all that, the bean burger and stuff like that. But what I found and I love. Hi, good to see you. What I find and I love is mushrooms. I found that mushrooms are like, if I was, I guess, to blend mushrooms and beans, maybe that would give it more of a meaty texture. But I find that beans by themselves, I'm not, my taste buds aren't fooled by the texture. I'd rather have beans mixed with vegetables in a taco or some kind of there's a taco shell made from carrots, a little bit of garlic powder, and egg. No, no, no. Carrots, shredded cheese. Is that right? Egg and garlic powder, and it looked yummy. And there's this lady that I follow on Instagram who is lean as lean can be. I know she's younger than me. She has to be. But I would love to be as lean as her. I don't want to be a monster, but I do want to stay in shape. And the idea that people at a certain age start to fall apart is, I don't believe that at all. I'm living proof of this. And it doesn't have to be the exception. It could be the rule for all of us if we eat what God intended us to eat and to stay, limber. I think that's the case. Anyway, I've been rambling. I'm going to try this app. This app, what was this? Yes, check the label. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I feel bad, but this young lady, I think this. I hope it's a young lady, because I can't tell by your handle, but it says her mom was a narcissist, and she was the only child. Man, I think that those of us who are called for this time have gone through the ringer in some way, shape, or form. To be an only child, and I mean, I can understand if you had I have three siblings, so I can understand some deciding that I'm disposable, but to have one child decide, uh, we've all have our stories, right? And I think at one point it's going to serve us well to share that story with the world. People need to know, what the Lord can help you to overcome. That there are angels, guardian angels, and our ancestors, our passed over family, are there cheering us on. This is a new revelation I have, and I believe. Anywho, what's the app? The app is, let's see. Wow, it's not hard, but you know what? I'm very disciplined. I'm not overweight right now. I'm being very, I don't want to say, I'm being very hard on myself. I'm not overweight. I'm pretty lean, if you can see. I'm pretty lean. It's just that my tummy, as a young person, I didn't always have a tummy. And I have I'd say about an inch or maybe 2 inches of, in depth of weight on my tummy. And I've had that since I had my last child. And before I had children, even after my last three, I could always get back into shape pretty easy. So I'm trying, and I don't eat a lot, although because of what I've been going through, I kind of, when you go through something, you kind of revert to eating a little bit of garbage. So I've had a couple of sodas, and I've had cake, which I'm going to throw out. There's another one. I went to a bakery in a certain part of our city here in Vaughan, a really good bakery. It's a family owned bakery, and they gave us a whole bunch of different cakes to take home during Easter, and I froze them. But I'm not allowed to eat that stuff anymore, so I'm gonna chuck them. I'm gonna throw them in the garbage. I don't need any temptation to be eating garbage. Anyway, let's see. Is there anything else? Love you too. Love you. Love you. Oh, thank you. I don't feel so gorgeous. I feel a little beat up. I've feel like I went through a hazing or a humiliation ritual or some kind. I don't know all that was said about me, but I've kind of got here and there kind of like hints of what it might be. And I'm so like, my stomach felt sick at first, and I thought to myself, no, it's okay. You know, People are going to say what they want to say, and people who are for you will be for you, and people who are not for you are not going to be for you, right? I have, I don't want to say this. I feel like I don't want to say this. Something about my daughters, who I love, and that won't change. But they're grown-ups now, and I think the Lord wants me to let them grow and let them learn on their own, that they don't need me. And so that's the place I'm at right now. I'm not even sad about it. I think it's time for me to pour into myself. I've poured into other people all my life without anyone really pouring much into me. And so I'm in the process of it's never been a reciprocal where someone was pouring into me as I'm pouring into them. So I'm so looking forward to this new stage of my life, and exempting all that doesn't serve me well. There's a lot of selfish people out there. Being mean seems to be in style. Oh, bless you. I appreciate that. The Lord is with all of us, but I know that we all have a different purpose, and supposedly all I went through was because I was strong enough to endure it, and that scares I don't know what I'm being prepared for, but the stuff I've had to go through, the enemies I've created based on nothing, the people who have decided to come against me are people I don't even know well. They're people that I don't even, the people who have been the most cruelest to me are people I don't even know well. I know of them. Some of them I know of them. And some of them are people in the community that I don't know at all. People who have known about me, with technology they can say she's on her way when I'm running, and they can step in the way, they move their car in front of me, all kinds of stupidness. So it's been quite interesting, and as much as I'm a softie, I'm not so soft anymore. But what I have learned is I'm still a tender person. I still love hard, but I'm directing my love in places that it's deserving. Not with people who think that it's cute to talk behind my back. Not with people who don't come to me and cross check. Like if someone came to me and said to me, "This is what this person's done," I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go to that person and ask. I have to. That's me. And if I say something about someone, I always say, please go to that person if you feel guided, and tell them I said so. That's what I do. But other people are not that, because if I'm going to say something, I have to be able to face the person and say it to their face. And sometimes it's not so pretty, but it's just what it is, right? So here I am. And grass of the healing, it's coming. The dark spots that are here. All right, I'm off. I'm gonna go run now. I'm gonna face the cold because it is chilly out there. I can tell. I'm gonna bundle up. The enemy uses his minions against us. Yes, the enemy does use his minions. I think when I come back later, I might talk about how I've learned that I think it's snowing. Oh my gosh, I better go for my run before there's actually snow that I could slip on. I'm going to talk about how the Lord showed me that we invite demonic entities. That as children we are blank slates to some degree, but if, like, let's say a baby experiences abuse, that baby can welcome in demonic entities. We can all, based on our experience, how we respond to it, can invite demonic entities. So we all need a creator. We all need our creator. We all need our savior. We all. There's no exemptions to it. So anyway, I'm thinking about my experiences as a child, the things I've had, and how it could have made me a monster, and it didn't. And there's people that I know who profess that they've gone through this and gone through that. They're healed, but they're the meanest persons that people I've ever met. And they'll smile in your face and act like they're your friend and act kind to you when you know that there's nothing in them. They're hollow, walking hollow shells. And I used to entertain these people, and I've been led to understand that it's okay to tell people to, cut them off. And so I've done that, and I'm okay with that, whether it be family or not. Anyway, on a lighter note, lemon juice. Yeah, I try. Well, yeah, I'm gonna try that. I've tried. You know what I used to do that works, and I forgot. Turmeric, honey, and turmeric, honey. Oh, turmeric. Oh, and yogurt. Turmeric, honey, and yogurt is like magic. I'm looking at the container now. I forgot all about that. The thing is, though, I have to go get um yogurt. Greek yogurt is better because it's more pasty. It sticks on the face. Turmeric is amazing. It stains your clothes, so and it kind of stains your fingernails. And I don't want to stain my fingernails, but turmeric, honey, yogurt, wow. And it doesn't take long for it to work. I mean, you'll see the results in about 5 days, like you'll see a transformation. So let me try that. Today is the 27th, I think. What is today? Yeah. Today's the 27th. I'm going to get yogurt today. I'm going to scrounge up so whatever I have. I'm going to go get some yogurt, and I'm going to make a paste and do this every night before I go to sleep. Maybe I should do it in the morning, because I find when I do it at night, it's, even though I wash it off, it gets in your pores, and I find it gets on my pillow still. I'll see. Anyway, I will try the lemon. I'll try the lemon at night, and I'll try the turmeric when I get back from my run. I'll stop at the store and get some yogurt, because this, whatever this is, it's healing, but still, I don't know. You can see it here, the line here. Anyway, I'm grateful. It could be worse, couldn't it? The sun is coming out. All right, I'm gonna get ready to run. All right, I'll see you guys in a little bit today. Bless you, bless you. Until next time, guys. Until later.